on to me. Hello, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. How's everyone doing this fine and lovely afternoon?
Meh.
All right, yeah, we're here. So, all right, and in 3, 2, 1, hit the records, and let me go ahead and play. Well, it is not the morning, but it's actually the afternoon. As you guys already know, it's at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the South Florida Gamers Podcast, but it's probably morning for those that are on the Central or West Coast side of the world. But anyway, guys, episode 153 of the South Florida Gamers Podcast. You already know who I am. I'm your host, Silverbat Senpai, and across the table from me is none other than my co-host, Waluigi.
Aloha, my dudes. Back at it again. Thursday was fun, but now today's a new day for our latest guest.
Absolutely, and our guest is none other than SonicPrincess15.
Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to be here.
Oh, we're happy to have you. How you doing today?
I'm doing very well.
Good.
Alrighty, so here on the podcast, of course, big shout out to everyone that's, following the podcast, sharing the content, and engaging with the content. We greatly appreciate y'all. Shout out to milestones that we continue to keep reaching across all of our social media platforms. And it's all thanks to you guys for being a part of this journey.
We love you.
And just seeing the growth that we have been doing throughout the years. So with that being said, you already know how our tradition is on the podcast, and that is that whenever we have a new guest, we always ask them, hey, what got you into gaming? Give us your gaming origin story. Give us your gaming background. Like, tell us from the first time you picked up a controller all the way up until now. So Sonic Princess, the mic is yours. You let us know and tell us your story of how you became a gamer.
All right. So when I was like 5 years old, my brother, he got the Super Nintendo from, I think it was Best Buy, because my mom got it for him as a reward for like getting good grades in class. Now, mind you, he was in second grade. I was in kindergarten, and the Super Nintendo was like a pretty popular console at the time, and what came with it was Yoshi's Island.
Oh.
The full title is like Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, but we all call it Yoshi's Island for short, because that's what it's known for. So I pick up the controller, the very thick rudimentary controller, and I just sort of like whisk through all the islands in Yoshi's Island. And I've grown to love the game since. And like every time I would go over to my grandmother's house, my aunt would have the Nintendo. My aunt would have the Nintendo 64. She would have Mario Kart 64, Perfect Dark,
Ooh.
Rush, if you remember that one.
Very vaguely, but continue.
Yes. And I think that's more or less all the games she's had. Oh, and GoldenEye. GoldenEye is the best one. Like, if you've seen both the movie and played the game, you'll know like which version is the best. And having played a few rounds of that game myself, I would say the game is better than the movie. But with The World Is Not Enough, which my aunt also had, it's the other way around.
Interesting. Okay.
Right. And as I grew up, like as I got a little bit older, my cousin, he also had the Nintendo 64 and later the Nintendo GameCube. Like one time he lent my brother the N64 for me and my brother to play Super Smash Brothers on when we would go over to my father's house. Like, my parents divorced when I was a baby, so like there were so we played Smash, and I was surprised that the roster of characters in that game were like so minuscule, so small compared to the compared to how it is now with Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, and the characters were all male, and not I thought they were all male, not knowing that Samus was a girl.
Right.
Yeah, that hits everybody.
So I played as either Pikachu or Kirby. There was like no in between.
Boy, yeah.
Right. Because I just play the cute characters. And the biggest the canon event, I was 8 years old in second grade. It was like the spring semester of my second grade year. And I went to Circuit City with my family to pick up Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone on DVD. And I went over to the GameCube console, the GameCube kiosk, and this kid, no more than 12 or 13, blonde, spiky hair, not spiky in the way that you would see in a Linkin Park video, but spiky in a sense that he had some frosted tips.
We're talking 2000s.
Yes, this was 2002.
Yep.
It was well after Sonic Adventure 2 came out on Dreamcast, and a few months after the game was ported over to GameCube, which brought me to that night. It was very the weather was pretty bad. It was raining very heavily, and I go over to this kiosk, and there's this blonde teenage boy just spinning the GameCube demo roulette, and he says, "Oh, tell me when to stop." And when I say stop, the roulette landed on Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. So we played through City Escape, hence why I'm wearing this shirt today by Sayan Hajime, all the way from London.
Nice.
Right? So we played through City Escape. I played as Amy, he played as Shadow, though I didn't really know his name. His name was Shadow at that time. I thought he was just evil Sonic because
Not wrong.
People were kind of colorblind anyhow when it came to these two hedgehogs. So I was this close to winning the race in City Escape, and he used Chaos Control on me. He won, and I threw the most massive fit. So massive. I was lucky my parents were not in my vicinity. They were somewhere else in the store. And then 18 months later, my cousin reintroduced me to Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on the GameCube 2 days after Halloween, and I had become engrossed in the game. Not really engrossed. I didn't get too deep into it until I had this dream where Sonic saved my life from Dr. Eggman.
Huh.
And this was when I had repeated the third grade because I flunked the FCAT, which, if you need a refresher, it stood for Florida Comprehensive Assessment Test. And today they use something else, but I digress. And so Sonic saved my life in a dream, and a month later, Shadow saved me from something else, and I've grown to love both hedgehogs and the franchise as a whole. And then a few weeks after my cousin reintroduced me to Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, there was a Sonic Heroes demo I played the Sonic Heroes demo at Walmart, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing." The graphics were a major improvement from Sonic Adventure 2. Not that the graphics in Sonic Adventure 2 were bad. It's just like it just blew my 9-year-old mind away. And all that led and every Sonic game I've picked up since, Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic and the Black Knight, my favorite of the Sonic Storybook series, Sonic Colors, that all led me to where I am today.
Wow.
My experience with the Sonic franchise has led me to my career in freelance gaming journalism and everything else that came with it.
Okay.
All from a Circuit City crash out. I respect it.
Okay. So it's safe to say that Sonic is definitely a game series that has definitely impacted you as you were growing up, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I mean, we've had previous guests that are our Sonic fans and whatnot, so we're very accustomed to the upbringing of when they first started playing Sonic as like one of their first game series titles, and up until now, like they're still playing Sonic games, and still a fan of the series. So that just goes to show like how strong of an impact that game series has on a lot of people throughout the years. So it's a good thing to see, and it's a good thing to have. So another thing I would like to ask is, other than Sonic, were there any other genres of gaming that you also explored as well, or you were just completely all in for Sonic?
I mean, there has to be like a balance.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure that I have a healthy balance of other game series and genres. Like, I am also into RPGs,
Okay.
JRPGs, action shooters, that racing, that sort of deal. So, like, aside from some of the games I mentioned earlier,
Mm-hmm.
I'm also playing like I've also played like the Just Dance series, and I would kind of like to get back into that, despite like how weird it is, given that it's from Ubisoft. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've also played Kingdom Hearts. Though I started with Kingdom Hearts 2, and the story of that one was this pop star, Hikaru Utada, or Utada Hikaru as I called them, thinking Utada was their first name. Come to find out later on that Utada was their last name. Hikaru is their first, hence their nickname Hiki in Japan. And Hiki spelled Hikki, not the other. But whatever. I'm sorry.
You're good.
You're
Okay. I just didn't want to,
You're good.
go into like TMI. So Utada, I heard their song Simple and Clean in Japanese first, because I had a friend who introduced me to that song on their MP3 player called the Jelly Bean.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a little white MP3 player that's like shaped like a jelly bean, kidney bean.
Know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
All right. So I was like so obsessed with that song, and knowing that it came from Kingdom Hearts, the first game, I wanted to start off playing Kingdom Hearts 1 just for that song alone. But like when I was in 6th grade, my brother highly recommended I start with Kingdom Hearts 2 because that game came out towards the end of my 5th grade year in elementary school. I was like 12, and by then Kingdom Hearts 2 had gotten like so popular. Everybody in his class, like he had already started high school, mind you. I had just started middle school. Everybody in his class like started to play it, and after some insistence, I was like, okay, fine. Come Christmas Day 2006, I opened the present, and there it was, Kingdom Hearts 2, the cover in all its iridescent glory. And I didn't get to play it until like a week later because we were like traveling out of the state for vacation. So when I came back, I watched the intro with Utada singing Sanctuary, and I was like blown away with that one. And to this day, I think that my brother did me a favor introducing me to Kingdom Hearts 2, and like started me off with Kingdom Hearts 2 instead of Kingdom Hearts 1, because when I got Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5, 2.5 remix, and I played Kingdom Hearts 1 for the first time, I thought, oh my, this gameplay is messy, especially with the gummy ship.
Yep.
The gummy ship missions, like
Yeah. They're not kid friendly.
they were not. They're not beginner friendly.
No, they're not at all.
No, it's just because you have to like fly to every single world so many times.
And your goal is to survive.
Exactly. That's not. That's just way too much work. Yeah. And that being said, I cannot wait for Kingdom Hearts 4. And I read an article yesterday written by a former editor of mine at The Gamer, like saying that he has seen like a lot of Kingdom Hearts merch pop up all of a sudden, and how the new Kingdom Hearts merch that's come out as of late at Hot Topic, Box Lunch, and like a few other places, even at Destination D23, like that, like all the merch popping up for Kingdom Hearts means that the release of Kingdom Hearts 4 is closer than we think. Like, there's no way we're gonna wait another 13 years after the release of Kingdom Hearts 3 for Kingdom Hearts 4 to come out. And it's been 3 years since we got the reveal trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4, and it's been 5 months almost since Square Enix and the Kingdom Hearts social media channels gave us a proof of life collage that, you know, the game's still in production.
Yeah, it's very weird what Square Enix is doing with Kingdom Hearts. I'm guessing they're waiting to unveil everything at a specific time, because instead of continuously posting certain things in relation to the game or involving the game, people are going to want to know when is it going to come out. Like, if you're going to drop a trailer, people want to know when's the exact date, and I think that's what a lot of people are waiting on, is when is that next exact date, because I do agree that, yeah, people are not going to want to wait another 13 years for another Kingdom Hearts game, especially after 3, and I've already shared my thoughts with Kingdom Hearts 3 already, and we've already had a guest on, myself and Waluigi, we already had a guest on that's very much very heavy
like
into
the Kingdom Hearts guy.
Yeah, and shout out to him, Ultimate Wielder. But yeah, definitely it's like, yeah, I don't think we're gonna want to wait another 13 years for another Kingdom Hearts game. So whatever Square Enix is doing with Kingdom Hearts 4, I just hope that the next trailer that they do show, there's an actual release date for that game.
Right.
I do agree.
So, RPGs, besides Kingdom Hearts, any other RPGs have you ever touched?
I've touched Pokemon.
Okay.
Now, with Pokemon, it's kind of weird because like I watched the anime first and then played the games later on, whereas for some other people it's the other way around. Like my brother, he had the Game Boy Color, and I think it was Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Yellow.
Oh, okay.
So
Game Boy Color.
yeah. So I played that one for a little bit, and then I just moved on. So like I always, like as a kid, I loved watching the Pokemon anime and the films. Some of my favorites are Pokemon the first movie, Pokemon the movie 2000, and Pokemon Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. Lucario is my most favorite Pokemon that I would add to any team in any game that I played. So as far as the games go, the first Pokemon game I played in its entirety was Pokemon Alpha Sapphire for the Nintendo 3DS.
Oh yeah, I've played that too.
Right. And my starter Pokemon was Torchic, and I named it Aries because that's my brother's zodiac sign. And any other Pokemon game I picked up after that, I would always pick the fire starter. Like, because fire Pokemon are like so strong and determined, and fire attacks are stronger than water and grass type attacks, period. So it's just it's like everything I do in that game, I have to like do it with brute force.
Right.
Yeah. Sounds right.
Yeah. And so I named my Torchic Aries in Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. In Pokemon, I don't remember what name I picked for my Fennekin in Pokemon X, but in Pokemon Sun, when I picked Litten, I named it Tyrion, after the character in Game of Thrones, because the lion, which Litten like evolves into as Cinnamoroar. I mean, I don't know if like Incineroar is like a lion or like
it's hard to tell.
It's very hard to tell, but the lion is the Lannister house's coat of arms.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, solid. So, and last question before we move on to our next topic, and that is, what are your 3 favorite genres of all time? Like, these are your 3 favorite gaming genres that you go to each and every time you game.
All right. So, given my history, I have like action adventure, platformers, RPG, and like, did I say platformers already?
Yeah,
Yes.
you got it.
Okay, yeah. That's pretty much it.
Gotcha. All right.
Well said.
Yeah. So, moving on to our next topic, and that is, what are your current thoughts on the state of gaming? So, with everything going on in 2025 and where gaming stands right now, what are your current thoughts of it right now?
In my 8 years as a freelance gaming journalist, well, I kind of noticed that it's been like a roller coaster of things going very well, like it's at the top, and then it just goes downhill in terms of like the economics. It's just on the game, like the games side of it, every time a game does very well and the company makes a lot of money from it, like the C-suiters, they like revel in it. Meanwhile, they lay off like the people that develop the games for them. It's like they put so much passion into making the games fun for everybody, but then the people at the top have the audacity to lay them off after the fact. Like, honestly, that's not fair. They should get a share of the profits. You go out of your way to market this game, hype it all up, and when the game comes out and weeks and months after the fact, lay off. And then there's the people that cover those games, like they're covering the release of the games and everything leading up to it, everything after that, and the publications, it's like they're not getting enough readers, and I don't know what it is. They lay off the writers too, even the freelancers, which again, that's not fair. They put as much passion into their coverage of those games as the developers that created the games for them to cover. Mm-hmm. It's a bullshit state of affairs.
I do want to harken back on something that you mentioned about if a game, you said that if a game sells, they still lay people off, because that's very unheard of. It's usually the opposite way around. Like if a game bombs and it flops, then yeah, they're going to lay people off, especially if there's like a lot of development time and resources that went into the game. And if the game does not sell well, then yeah, it's expected to lay off people. It sucks. It definitely does. But it also begs the question, like, if you're going to make a game for an audience of people, who are you trying to cater to? Because we have seen it time and time again, and myself and Waluigi, we've covered articles of where these game companies are not catering to the gamers. They're not listening to the gamers. And then when they flop and fail, it's just like, well,
what happened?
And then when you look back at what happened, it's just like, well, you didn't listen to the gamers. You didn't not listen to the community. So what's going to end up happening is people are going to get laid off. And I remember what game it was. I think it was I'm thinking.
Give a genre. I'll probably help.
Hi-Fi Rush.
It's one of them, but
yeah,
I think
that is actual.
But some of Ubisoft games that flop, they end up starting to lay off people because their games were not selling good. And I would say the best one was that new Saints Row that they did.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that game flopped and people got laid off.
Yeah.
And the reason behind it was the fact that they literally just went in a completely different direction. It is not what gamers grew up wanting out of a Saints Row game, because there was a time when Saints Row 1 and 2, when that came out, it was good.
Oh, Silver. It was Dragon Age.
Dragon Age as well, yes.
Yes.
But with Saints Row, that's a more obvious one because the fact that people who grew up with Saints Row, they love 1 and 2. 3 went in a more...
Which one? Gat Out of Hell, or that was...
No, 3 is when things started to change to where, because they started, getting, a little bit more comedic, which was fine. Yeah. A lot of people love 3, and then with 4 and then continuing on, just like, okay, now it's ridiculous. So when they finally bring back Saints Row, it's like, all right, we're going to reboot everything back. That feeling of 1 and 2 was no longer there. And people who grew up with the series, like, yeah, we're checking out. We're not buying your game. And that's what led to what Saints Row, failed. It flopped. Same thing with games like Anthem that came out years ago.
The trailer, not even the alpha. It was just a trailer that showed so much detail.
And then when people played the game, it was just like, oh my god, this game is terrible.
And like nothing was the same.
And then the game flopped in sales, and developers end up laying off or whatnot. And it's just like, it's a constant thing where if you're not catering to the gamers, if you're not catering to your actual consumers, you're gonna lose money, and by losing money, people are gonna get laid off. That's typical business 101. Like, if the business is not making money, they're gonna start cutting costs. It sucks that it's like that, and it sucks the fact that people spend a lot of hours and putting their passion into a project that they've worked on. But at the end of the day, money talks, and if it's not talking, people are gonna be out the door.
Yeah, then there's games like Forspoken that actually appeared a while back, where it showed like a good advertisement, good movement for the demo. And when the game actually came out, people were not pleased due to the voice acting, due to some of the scenes, and then they got bought out by Square Enix. That was like a whole different scenario where there's a lot of potential that just got untapped.
And there was like some allegations of cultural appropriation with the main character.
Yeah.
That rubbed some people the wrong way.
Yeah. Then there's been greater games such as like Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which had a great start for the past like month, and then it just flopped.
Well, I wouldn't say the game. I wouldn't say the game flopped.
Well, I mean more like the player base.
Yeah, the player plays definitely flopped because a lot of people are expecting balance in an unbalanced game. It just like no.
It baffles everybody.
And people are complaining about like, you know, nerfing this and nerfing that. Like you're asking the developers to make balancing changes for a game that is not meant to be balanced, especially if you grew up playing the Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi games. You know, like certain characters are just like mad overpowered.
Yeah.
And you're trying to, and if you want that to be balanced, I highly recommend go play Dragon Ball Sparking Zero then, if that's the case. But people want the entire Dragon Ball Z roster, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball GT. They want the entire roster, which what Sparking Zero did, and kudos to them because I bought the game day one because I grew up with Budokai Tenkaichi 1, 2, and 3, and then playing all the other Dragon Ball fighting games. So, but you're asking the developers to balance an unbalanced game that's not meant to be competitive. It's just meant to have fun.
Yeah.
And the game's still getting content. It's still getting character releases and whatnot. But
the player base
again, it's just
day one
that is a game you cannot expect it to go competitive. Like
heavens
no.
Yeah, just enjoy Dragon Ball like a normal person.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other moments like a game that got too good. I mean, Destiny was slowly like deteriorating itself when it first came out.
Yeah,
it was
because
super popular and then it changed.
Yeah, with Destiny, like especially Destiny 1, a lot of people got catfished with the trailers from the very beginning of the E3 trailers, seeing that, oh, this game's going to be massively big, it's going to be huge, you're going to be able to go to so many different planets, and it was just like, no, you're not. You're not going to be able to go everywhere.
Activision.
Can I just say something about Destiny? So, like, Destiny, I thought I was going to be able to enjoy, like, the first and second game because I have a friend who at the time Destiny 2 was coming out, like they were like dealing with depression, and like the only way to cope with it is through gaming, and one of those games happened to be Destiny. So I played it with them a bit, and I enjoyed the story. I was enjoying the story. I was enjoying the gameplay, like, and the idea of a flying drone ghost following me around, and I just love the melee, the customizations, that, and the third thing, and being able to travel to different planets in space. And then when Destiny 2 came out, I wanted to like enjoy the story, and I only played Destiny 2 a couple times, and then once I got to the water planet, I just like fell off completely. I don't even know what happened. And when I wanted to get back into Destiny 2, I wanted to like start from the very beginning, and I can't do that because it's a live service game, and with a live service game, you don't get to start from the get-go.
Yeah.
Which that's a really bad gaming business model. I'm sorry to tell you. Because
I feel indifferent with that, because when you first start off with Destiny 2, as I remembered, it's with the Red War when you're going up against
I forgot his name.
I forgot the name of the species class or whatnot, but I like to call him Space Bane, but because he was just like massively big.
Yeah,
and
he sounded exactly like Bane.
Yeah, so you start off there, and then that's when you get the introduction of, okay, you're the Red War. So Destiny 2, you're starting off with the Red War, and then with these different expansions as you get, it adds just more to Destiny 2. Destiny 2 has been going on for quite a while, and I've stopped playing since.
It's been going for 8 years.
Yeah, I stopped when I think I completely checked out of Destiny once I finished the part where they killed off when Cade 6 was killed off, and then luckily enough they ended up bringing him back, and I'm guessing because the player base was dwindling or whatnot. So fine, whatever. But yeah, you start off with the Red War in Destiny 2, and then it's just that's pretty much your introduction. Granted, they do talk about stuff that happened in Destiny 1 as you progress throughout the game, and as you do your daily missions, you do your nightfalls, your raids, and things like that. That's where you get more from the game, and it's pretty much just you're leveling up your gear. If you care about the story, then you're just going to follow the story. You don't care about leveling up your gear. But for those who are gear hunters, they want to go out, get all the exotic items and weapons and things like that. Yeah, they're going to be grinding that game for hours and days. I was one of them, and then I completely checked out because it was one of those games where you have to stop yourself before you completely get consumed.
Yep.
And funny enough, one of our co-hosts, AJ, shout out to you. He's a huge Destiny guy.
He played it out.
Yeah, so I wish we had him on today.
Mad
because
lad.
he would talk. He's more better suited to talk about Destiny 2 than both of us.
Yeah, like Red War was actually like the beginning of the game. They're like, oh yeah, it's no longer accessible. What do you mean? But
Right.
it's only for year one. Like most year one vets will remember the game, and then it just like most people will just forget about it
Yeah.
because lore has it written in pause when you press the pause screen into the menu. And there's like a whole lore section
Yeah.
which nobody reads.
Right. It's like, and it just saddens me that, people want to like start playing Destiny 2. They can't like start off at the Red War. The only way they'll be able to get the context of what's going on is going back to YouTube playthroughs
Yeah, literally.
from 8 years ago, like 2017, and just like watch everything from there, and that
Yeah.
it'll take them like days, if not weeks, for them to catch up.
Yeah, here's a quick summary, and then it's just like, all right, now you can start the game.
Right.
Okay. And I think I had a thought. I think I lost my. I thought I lost my train of thought.
Destiny, live gaming.
Yeah, with live service, like it's now with live service, it's here to stay.
Yeah.
Depending, even though the fact that many people do not like it, but it does fill it does fill the itch for a lot of people who just want a particular game where they could just play in and out, day in, day out, put hours into it, and then just come back for more.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 14 is probably one of the most common ones.
Oh yeah, definitely. Same thing with Fortnite. It's a free-to-play game. Warzone, free-to-play game. So you have those live service games where they're free to play.
Kill the Justice League.
That's.
I'm trolling.
That's a game that definitely flopped, and yeah, people got laid off for that because that game was terrible. It was terrible.
A battle pass for a single player game is insane.
Yeah, that was a terrible business move. Like what the hell, Rocksteady and Warner Brothers was thinking? Like, yeah, we're gonna do a battle pass for a single player game, and not only that, you disrespected
Kevin Conroy out of all people.
Exactly, and that was his, I believe, his last voice acting game before he passed away.
One of the greatest voices of Batman.
Oh yeah.
Heartbreaking.
And it's just like, and now that's a big stain on Rocksteady going forward, and it's deserved because
It's Warner Brothers in the end as well.
yeah, it just, big companies not listening to the consumers, the gamers, because at the end of the day, we're the ones that's going to buy the product. And if you don't give us what we like, that we enjoy, we're not going to buy your product. And that's going to affect you greatly. It's happened so many times before.
Oh, we lost track.
So many times.
Right. But the live service games that I do appreciate are the Hoyoverse games, especially Zenless Zone Zero, which, like I believe I mentioned in the beginning, I did play a little bit of Genshin Impact, but I wasn't like into it as much as my partner and his roommate are.
Okay.
And my favorite Hoyoverse game is Zenless Zone Zero, because because you have like the option, like in combat you have the option to switch between like two different characters at when the moment calls for it. And story wise, you get, if like, it's been out for over a year, right? So at least when you're a new player, you get to start like the story from the very beginning. And that's a very smart like development decision on Hoyle's part.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. Again, I've played it, but I just completely
I
dropped it
never
or whatnot
invested.
because it was just not for me. But yeah, like live service games like that where they start off at the very beginning, so at least where you see where the story begins. Yeah, that you'll get that with a lot of live service games. Now, if the game has been out for a couple of years or whatnot, then yeah, it's gonna definitely have some changes because it now has to adapt to whatever is current versus what it was back when it first dropped out, when it first released. So if you have a live service game that came out 10 years ago and it's still going in current time, it's not gonna play the same, or it's gonna still have that same feeling. But it's not going to be, but it's going to be completely different because of the fact that it went through so many changes with additional content, with additional updates. Like if I were to, going back to Destiny 2 again, if I were to re-download Destiny 2, then I'm going to go right back to the Red War. But then again, since I've already completed it and beated it, then I'm not going to start at the Red War. I'm going to start wherever expansion DLC that I have already.
Yeah.
But if it's a brand new, fresh file, I am starting at the Red War. So with Zenless Zone Zero and other gacha games, yeah, they're going to start you at the very beginning of the game. But as the game progresses in time, let's just say another 5-10 years, it'll still be the same game, but it's going to have some different changes to where, if I remember correctly, you used to do this when it first came out. Now I'm doing this. So that's the uniqueness of it all.
Right. And Genshin came out like months after the COVID pandemic began. So it's been 5 years, and in that short amount of time there were like so many changes like new regions were added, new characters were introduced, and there's like outfits and like aesthetics that do not make much sense within like the Genshin environment, because Genshin, it like from the beginning it just looks like it takes place in like somewhere in the Middle Ages. Like Middle Ages, Victorian era.
I know what you mean.
So,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And then you have like characters that look like they come from the very, very distant future. This one character, I cannot remember her name for the life of me. Like her vehicle is a pistol. I'm dead serious.
I believe you. It's not surprising.
Right. And someone else is like driving a motorcycle, which makes sense in Zenless Zone Zero, but not in Genshin Impact. So, like hearing about these changes, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, there are quality of life changes, and it happens in every game, especially if it's a live service game. I currently play Goddess of Victory Nikkei, and I can tell you right now, if someone were to get into it now, it's going to be very easier to get into compared to how bare bones it was when I first played it back in, I believe, in 2022, like around October, November-ish, when it was like very bare bones and whatnot. Compared to now, it's very easy to get into. Most of the tasks are very like it's stupid easy to the point where you don't even have to spend an hour on the game. You spend a good maybe 25 30 minutes, you're done. Compared to years prior, probably about 45 minutes to an hour, and then you're just completely done for the day. So with quality of life changes in these live service games, they're there to make it easier for newcomers when they come in, so that way they can easily consume the game. They're easily consume the product and enjoy it. And these are requests that people who have played the game already from day one, to where it's like, hey, can we, shorten the time of this, or can you fix this or adjust this or whatnot, so that way it's easier for a lot of people to come in, because at the end of the day, these live service games, they still want new players to come in. And, of course, keeping the current ones happy. So the more people coming in, the better it is, and the better it's going to benefit everybody in the long run. The companies, they still get to make money. The gamers, they still get to enjoy the product. Everybody wins.
Right.
There's one live service game I'm looking forward to, or gotcha. Aventa.
Ananta?
Close enough.
Ananta?
Yeah, so long story short, you should see the trailer later. It's pretty much a GTA-esque like Genshin, per se.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. That's what sells a lot of people. When you see that trailer, let me know later what you think.
That's not from Hoyo, is it?
No.
It isn't.
No.
But it looks so Hoyo-esque. It's super funny.
Yeah. Like, it's Hoyo-esque. They're, like, people are going to think that it's from Hoyoverse, but it's not. Just like Wuthering Falls, which
Yep.
I did play for only a little bit, but once Zenless Zone Zero came out,
Yeah.
it was over.
Wuthering Waves was jokingly called like the Genshin killer, but that never happened.
No.
Right.
Hoyoverse standing on business. It's entertaining.
All right. Our next topic, and that is, tell us your moments in gaming that you had to be there for. So with this specific topic, it's pretty much what moments that made you feel excited, made you feel hyped, made you feel like, overcoming with positive emotion. Like, what moments in gaming did you have any experiences of those type of feelings?
All right. So, going back to Kingdom Hearts, I was on an Alaskan cruise for my high school graduation. It was like after I graduated from high school, my ship was docked in Ketchikan. It was like 9-10 o'clock in the morning over there, and like in Alaska, like 11 or noon California time. E3 was going on.
Oh.
And I get an email saying from a YouTuber that I followed at the time, Cyberman65. Shout out to him if he is still around. Like, I get an email from him about the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, and I pick up my phone. I had the Samsung Galaxy S3 at that time. Oh, I miss Samsung Galaxy. So I watch the trailer, and when the trailer starts, I see like a reel from past Kingdom Hearts games, and I see like a new Keyblade sitting on the beach on Destiny Island. Sora picks it up, and then the title Kingdom Hearts 3 like is emblazoned across the screen, and towards the end of it it says now in development. This was like 2013, and but when I first got the email and I saw Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, I was like, is he bullshitting? And when I click the link to watch the trailer, I'm like, he's not kidding. The Kingdom Hearts 3 is really happening, because like my senior year of high school, I had some classmates come up to me and say, oh, like Kingdom Hearts 3 is gonna be announced very soon, and I just like, took it with the tiniest grain of salt, and now that Kingdom Hearts 3 was happening, like, at that time, I was like, oh my god. My mind was just blown. And then like 4 years later, another trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 came out with them introducing the Toy Story world, which I thought was impossible because, until that point, the Kingdom Hearts games only introduced, worlds like from Disney films proper. But with Pixar coming into the mix, like Toy Story and Monsters Inc., okay, I'm kind of sold. And when I saw the release window 2018, I was like, yes! I was just like down on the floor, like, yay! And my parents, like my stepdad, he was outside, like the backyard doing something. He was like, what's going on? What's going on? I was like, nothing. Just Square Enix announced the release window for Kingdom Hearts 3. And I had to wait another 2 years for the game to come out. And I enjoyed it for the most part. And it was something.
It definitely was.
Yeah.
I remember while I'm seeing the preview, not the preview trailer, but the first trailer of Kingdom Hearts, where they just said when they showed that, hey, it's in development, I was hyped. And then when we finally got the other trailer like a couple of years ago, and they actually showed the gameplay of it or whatnot, like, yeah, I like myself and many other Kingdom Hearts fans, we were completely blown away with that trailer. And it's like, yeah, this game's gonna be a day one buy, and it was a day one buy for me. Like, I bought that game day one, enjoyed the hell out of it and whatnot. Granted, I would say towards the end, and I'm not going to say spoiler warning because it's been so many years, but towards the end, I was not happy with the ending. I was not happy how it was like very anticlimactic. So I was very kind of disappointed. And I was like, you know what? Let me go back and replay Kingdom Hearts 2. The final boss, the end section of that. Let me go ahead and play that and see maybe is it me or is it just a game? I played that and I was just like, yeah, I'm not getting the same feeling. Like the feeling that I got after beating Kingdom Hearts 2 is 10 times better than the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3. Even though it's been revealed that, hey, they're going to have DLC content and to where there's going to be more added. And I'm just like, why y'all could not add that to the game? And then, of course, another gripe that I had with Kingdom Hearts 3 was the Pirates of the Caribbean section where you're in the ship and you have to go to different islands and whatnot. I'm like, bro, this completely just slowed down the hype momentum for me of this game. So I would say Kingdom Hearts 3, good game, solid game, but it is not better than 2. Nowhere better than 2. Like, the hype meter that I had, like, I would still go back and play Kingdom Hearts 2 all over again, even though I've overplayed the hell out of that game. I would do that over 3 any day of the week.
All right, so another you had to be there moment for me as far as Sonic goes. I was in Hawaii previewing Sonic Frontiers. And as I was fighting as I was starting to fight the Giganto, the Titan, like one of the big Titans, this song starts playing. I'm hanging on to the other side. I won't give up till the end of me. Like, hearing that singing voice, I thought, oh, they got Haley Williams from Paramore. Cool. And I meant, like, I almost had to ask the PR manager for Sonic Team who that was. But, of course, I had to keep my mouth shut because it was like 3 weeks before the game's release, so there's like a lot of NDAs and red tape going around, and the preview was like under embargo until like the next Monday,
Oh my god.
right? So I was gonna ask who that was. Like, did they get the lead singer of Paramore? Because like, for some songs, like when you like like when you hear somebody singing like a certain Sonic song, you try to like figure out who that was, and it's like you come to find out later on that it's the lead singer of like a famous band you knew, like. And so like later on, as the weeks pass, I find out that the lead singer, like that the person singing Undefeatable and three other songs in Sonic Frontiers was Kellen Quinn from Sleeping with Sirens. And I was like, and I thought, the voice that I thought was female was actually Kellen Quinn. Nothing wrong with Kellen Quinn. He's amazing. It's like, I think because somewhere like a soprano, like he was somewhere in the soprano range. I would know because I was a soprano in my high school choir. So,
Is the vocal range that threw you off?
Yeah, it was the vocal range that made me think that Kellen was female instead of male. So I go to like the Sleeping with Sirens discography on Spotify. I listen to If You Can't Hang, and which is a classic, by the way, and a few other songs. I'm just like, wow, this guy's amazing. And Sleeping with Sirens has been part of my emo playlist.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Anything related from like early 2000s, 2010s, it's a valid like band to put in a playlist.
So with the introduction of Kellen Quinn into Sonic Frontiers and 1OK Rock singing the theme song for Sonic Frontiers, it's like they took us back 15 years from like 2022 to like all the way back to 2007, because 2007 emo music was at its peak.
Yeah, especially for a boss battle like that, I would not blame you reacting like, hold on, this is fire, let me put this in my playlist real quick when the game releases. I understand that perspective well enough.
Right. And as far as like, Sonic Team hiring musicians for bands, like hiring musicians for Sonic songs,
Yeah.
is like they pick the lead singer but not the entire band.
Which is interesting, but
I have a feeling it's for budget reasons.
yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Those are two good moments.
Oh, yeah. So,
Right.
our next topic, and that is going to be, what are your gaming pet peeves? What are some things that just annoy you when it comes to gaming?
Okay. So, one of the things that annoys me when it comes to gaming,
I know it's a tough question because sometimes people say DLC that shouldn't be added, or music that shouldn't be like placed in. It's like a lot of things, or even how people play online.
yeah, like the gotcha elements is what bothers me. What bothers me in gaming, like playing Zenless Zone Zero, I all I do to if I want to get a new character, I have to save up like like encrypted master tapes just to be able to do like so many 10 pulls at a time in order to get like an S rank character, meaning a character that's not in my roster yet.
Okay.
So like if I get like more of the same character, it's just to, unlock new abilities and reveal their name cards by extension.
Okay.
Like 2 different versions of their name card. And but when it comes to like trying to if you want a new character, if you want to add that character to your roster, to your party quickly, you have to spend real money on it, and that is something that I really do not want to do. Because if I have to spend like $10-$20 on a pack that gives me a certain number of encrypted master tapes and some other stuff in order to unlock new characters, new skins, new what's that little, what are those orbs?
Digital currency?
No, not that. It's one of those it's one of those orbs that you put into when you customize your character's abilities. Never mind what they're called. I haven't played Zenless Zone Zero for a while because of other stuff going on in my personal life. It's if I have to spend $10-$20 just to get enough digital currency to be able to get characters and skins.
That's a gamble.
It's a gamble. Your credit card bill is gonna go up very, very quickly. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not the type.
Loot boxes are always a killer to some people's finances, and I understand that.
Yeah. And one day I was in Spencer's, this girl, she was talking about how she spent so much money in Genshin Impact, and I'm like, you're not in any debt, are you? She goes, no, everything's fine now. I have a good job. And I was like, oh, okay, that is a relief, because I have seen a couple episodes of Gretzko where, Gretzko and Haida, they drain all their savings into these games.
Huh.
And they so much money, they go into debt.
On purpose?
Well, with Retsuko, it was because she got her heart broken by, I wouldn't say heartbroken, more like she had to break things off with Tadano, who's a donkey version of, I would say, Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh.
I don't know if you've watched Agretzko.
No, I haven't. Oh, yes, I have. Yes, I have. I know what you're talking about.
So it was season 3 of Agretzko, and she's playing this game called My Dream Boyfriend.
Oh, yes, I actually know what you're talking about, for one. In a series. Because it took me a while to see the series and how much you spent. I understand, that's a valid crash out, but at the same time, you're destroying your finances to an extent.
Right. She spent so much money in that game. The next thing you know, she's eating day-old bread crusts. She's asking her mom for money because her office job did not pay her enough to recoup the money she lost to that game. And she starts working for an idol group.
Oh yeah, I remember that season specifically.
As an accountant to pay off her debts. Meanwhile, Haida, 2 seasons later, he quit his job from the same department Retsuko's into a different game, and his younger brother comes into his apartment, and he says, "Oh, I want you out of here by the end of the month." And he goes to like a net cafe, sleeps there for a while, and then from there starts living with Retsuko while he finds a job.
Yeah, to steer back into this, people can go in debt to gacha games, and that bothers me every day hearing how much people have spent. Like, I've seen people spend like 3K in Genshin at one point. I've heard stories where some people has costed their education for Honkai Star Rail. It could be like it could be very detrimental if you don't know how to stop, or if you don't know your balances and such.
Right, and that's why like these games like with gacha elements, they should not be played by kids because they are gonna rack up their parents' credit cards, and they may not have enough money to pay that off, and they take legal action against those companies to get refunded, because once they see that credit card bill and all of that money went to Fortnite, Roblox,
It's hard to stop.
it is hard. It's very hard to stop.
Besides that, did you have any other pet peeves?
Let's see. Any other pet peeves?
Yeah, because I know gacha's a killer, then I'm trying to think. Anything gameplay-wise that bothered you?
It's hard to think of any gameplay element that's
Okay.
given me a pet peeve.
Okay, that's respectable.
Right.
All right. I mean, if there's no other pet peeves that you want to share, that you want to share with us that you can think of, then we'll allow you to have the floor to say anything that you need to say before we put a bow on this episode and wrap things up.
All right. So, like, playing Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, like, I'm glad that there is like some dialogue at the beginning of every Grand Prix between like the rival character and the character you're playing as. But it's like, what bothers me is the voice direction of some of the characters, especially Amy Rose. Like Amy Rose is supposed to be like this spunky, fierce female character in the Sonic series, but since Sonic Frontiers, they kind of toned her down a little, like watered her down a little bit, kind of made her the sort of like the den mother of the group. And like in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, she's supposed to be like all excited about things, but when it comes to like talking to like other characters, she says things like, "Oh, keep this a clean race, okay?" And keep this a clean race. And some other things to that effect. And then if you play as her, you win first place in the Grand Prix. She goes, "Follow me inside, outside, through the stratosphere." And I'm just like, my ears bled. Like, what was that voice direction?
Voice direction and different character development. That makes much more sense. That's the best way to describe it.
Yes. I mean, I appreciate the reference to her theme song from Sonic Heroes, but to sing it out loud, like, it kind of made me wish they rehired Lisa Ortiz, or I forgot who who voiced Amy before her, and instead of like Cindy Robinson, no disrespect to Cindy Robinson, like that kind of made me wish they rehired Lisa Ortiz to voice Amy in that game instead of Cindy Robinson because of the voice direction that they took with her.
I get what you mean. Like voice direction with the type of game you're specifically in. Like if you're playing a competitive game and you're hearing soft spoken, low, like high pitched voice, it's just like, this is awkward. This doesn't belong here.
Right.
To the character archetype. I got what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, so with that being said, Sonic Princess, let everyone know where people can find you.
All right. So you can follow me on Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitch, and Twitter at SonicPrincess15.
All right. Waluigi, any closing thoughts?
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad to have like a nostalgia trip in the 2000s, hearing about aesthetics, GameCube racks, and everything else. Like that just like sparked a lot of memories kicking in, and I definitely appreciate it. And especially how you're consistently like talking about Sonic and other games like Kingdom Hearts and such. I look forward to hearing more about your content and your stories and your journalism.
Thank you very much. And I didn't call myself Sonic Princess 15 for nothing.
Real.
Right.
Sonic Princess, thank you so much for being a guest on our podcast. Great to have you. Thank you again for sharing your thoughts on gaming. Your pretty much your overall journey. Coming up as as a Sonic fan, and then of course not knowing that you were a gaming journalist as well. I appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
All right, and as for everyone else that's watching, tuning in, hey, thank you guys so much for being a part of this episode. And what else? Thursday, we do have an episode for Thursday coming up, so stick around for that. And with that being said, I'd like to thank y'all for watching and tuning in.
Thank y'all.
If you're new here to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, the like, the share, all that good stuff, and we will catch you guys on the next one, and that is on Thursday. So with that being said, this has been episode 153 of the South Florida Gamers Podcast, and we are signing out.
Peace.